I think you'll all be pleased to know that I'm going to take the strike on this entire pace lap raffle that affected my entire column. I think we all need to do is shown quite well uh, by the column behind the pole leader is not drive on anticipation here on the pace, but drive by what's actually happening. I barely got on the gas coming out of the last turn. I couldn't see the pole, so I lifted off the gas, and that go and lift just train wrecked everybody behind me. There was a lot of questionable decisions behind me, all based on the same type of judgment that I made. I do feel that everybody behind me could see the cars ahead of them, so they had more data to go by. All I had is the F1 box, 0.1 for the pole leader. I was able to do it without using the brake, but still, as the leader of this whole column, I'm taking the blame for this top-down administration screw up. That strike, this one is all me. I think everybody here knows that that one's getting a strike. A lot of things happened there on that turn, but a lot of it is you can't fault the driver for taking advantage of a slip up. A race car driver puts his nose into an open hole when the driver ahead makes a mistake. And the tail gets loose, driver goes in. It does make a 3 wide, which is not cool, especially on turn one. But there was a mistake. It wasn't like pushed for it, forced it. There was a mistake happened. So I can't. Then calamity happened, which is the risk that we took. But we can't fault the race car driver for doing that. But however, track reentry here, forcing cars who are racing going into turn two to make quick movements to avoid you on the apex here of the turn. That one is strike. Nice collection of things about to happen here. Our pink car is unprepared for the checkups going into our hard braking zone here. We have that contact there. It's mild. We made every attempt to avoid it once it was made clear that okay, we're checking up kind of early. Not cool that we're that unprepared here on lap one. Everybody should show more preparation. But the damage caused was more impactful on themselves than on part of the path here on the rear. Almost managed to miss it, get out the track. But now this is a reckless, disgraceful bomb for 4 positions, damaging the 4th car in that bomb without being able to hold their position. Very disrespectful. The only right thing to do here at this point, after damaging the 4th car in that train you just bombed, is to not fight them over the next couple of turns and let them have the position and then go back to honorable, respectful racing. But instead we have, yeah, that's right, I still got a coat of paint worth of presentation, so I'm going to stay in here and then push to the outside, which I should have access to, causing more calamity. I'm going to lump this whole turn into one strike because it's just a collection of bad decisions for one basic thing. So right there, yellow car, this whole turn is one strike. It comes with a strong warning. This is lap one and does not show good progress. Side note, just a helpful thing for everybody, what is a common practice once an accident has occurred, to lock your brakes up. By locking up your brakes, you're going to benefit every car behind you, can make you have an easier attempt at picturing or guessing where your car's going to go. if the tires are locked up. Just got a little loose going over the curbing there, but what's interesting about this one is this is a battle over the last couple of laps, and there were some questionable moves from both parties over those couple of laps, but nothing that it involved just a lot of aggressive pinching, overtakes, over-unders. There was a lot of aggressive, hard, good, not necessarily good, but battling going on between these two drivers for a couple of laps. With some solo off track and some pinching, but nothing that occurred any contact. And then their battle here early on in a 605 turn race ended in but not calamity that I can strike for, just calamity from battling with somebody very hard. What's sad here is that this bomb punt turns into a double whammy. I don't mean a double strike whammy, but just we have a clear wheel presentation nose peak dive that turns into a rear end cap. Then what I really don't like about it is that that's essentially a pit maneuver. It's a practice pit maneuver. It's not saying that you did that, but to stick a nose and catch that corner while a car is at an unsettled point on turn in, that is the very definition of a pit. That's done to intentionally spin people out in position. And what I really don't, and I'm not going to say that that's what happened. I'm not going to say that at all. We just have a punt, very unfortunate final time. What I don't like about it the most is that then we got, hey, we have the impression of, cool, that car's out of my way, now I'm back on the gas, and then I hit them again. That's what really makes me wonder if that was just an aggressive, intentional. I don't know. I don't want to question it. I really don't want to be in that position, but there's a double whammy of just bad decisions, and we have a clear strike. Did everything I could to keep this thing on the inside once I went from fourth gear to first. Thankfully, I didn't blow my engine when I did it because I was able to get back on the clutch when my engine started to peak rev on me, so I didn't quite get the clutch all the way off, but that locked me out of getting into a gear through the whole turn. I kept it inside, but if anybody would get a criticism here, it's me, I think, because I'm the slow car sitting directly on the apex. I also think we might have just a little bit of target fixation from behind, because I kind of make the path, but I don't see any trouble here. If Marlin wished to appeal that decision and blame me for the contact, I would be comfortable with people looking at this since I'm involved, because I am right on the apex. But I felt like I did everything in my power, but at the same point, I was also like, "How are you gonna hit me when I'm on the inside here?" In hindsight, I can't help but wonder if I'm to blame here on this, where it takes place. The curbing is there, but that's still kind of the apex. It's just a very maneuverable apex for late entries, and he's been doing that, going out late, coming in, but farther in. So I kind of got stuck right on his line. So there's my quick version, non-rambling as much, at least for this one. I know I still did it. I still have a lot of improvement to go in this review process. But we've got 5 strike ones. That's me on the pace lap. And we have two in turn one, Johnny and Martin. Well, Martin was more turn 2 there with the track re-entry. And then we have a lap 1 for Ricardo and a lap 19 for Nicholas. And that sums it up for the review. All in all, I felt really good during the race and directly after the race. What I witnessed from our lap down cars and from the cars that I was competing with, I have a ton of respect and a lot of appreciation and etiquette. I felt really good about it, and then I remembered hearing all that trouble there on the pace lap. So part of me is kind of glad to put the blame on myself for that one because that was so calamitous. Instead of trying to read through that point that who did what. It's really what I see there that boils to everybody is not driving off of anticipation, but driving off what's actually going on. Going through all the cockpits of all the people that come behind me, they're on the gas, they're up in the third gear, and our leader's still putzing, waiting to go at 35 miles an hour. And I was able to not get on the brakes for any of that, but I couldn't see him. All I had was my F3 box for 0.1, so I'm just waiting and wondering. And I hear all that thing, it's not a mile bit of accelerator. But that was enough with that anticipation, which that's why I was doing it. I was anticipating. So that's something that's for all. I haven't done many of these pace lap starts myself, as I know many of us haven't. So there's a ton to get used to in that. It seems to be anticipatory driving. That's the bad. That's the mistake there. Got to leave some extra space. A lot of race to go. Leave extra space. And drive off of what's actually what's there, not what we expect to happen. But all in all, great. We still had a fair amount of finishers. More than half the field got it to the checkered flag, and less incidents than we've had in some of our exhibition series. I've rambled too much, so I've got two horrible copies.